Welcome back, everyone, to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with possession as we jump back into the action in the third quarter.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh.
On second down, it's Connor, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Harris. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these things worked well for us, and sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early. Play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. On 3rd down, Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And the Steelers set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. He'll get this one to Switzer. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Harris now operating from the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. And Walker has it. And he's got room. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Jackson. T.J. Watt getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
A gain of 22. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Again, Jackson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Andrews with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Hey, Sam off. Snap.
Right back to Connor here on first. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for you.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 39. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. From the gun, Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers to the start of the fourth quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The fourth quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and it's second down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one, maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On second down now, Way. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now Jackson on first down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And defensively trying to beat the 2-minute warning with a timeout, and they do. Calling it with 2:04 left. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's got his man. It's Andrews. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Back to throw. Washington's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with it. Even 20 seconds left to go. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. He's back to throw, and he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So the onside kick will come with 17 seconds to play. And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
So the final seconds tick. More victory. And I tell you, these division games never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So for the Ravens, they pick up win number 7 on the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.